Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, Miss Aviona, and today's video is answering questions based upon the questions down here on my comment box on my YouTube channel. And I'm really indeed grateful for all of you guys who's sending me messages and who's still commenting on my YouTube video. I am grateful for all of these indeed, because it gives me the opportunity to interact with you in case you have some questions to ask based upon the videos I had made. Now, the video that I made and this YouTube channel happened because of the fact that I started it with some of the foreign trained therapists who sent me a direct message or a DM, they call it DM, to get to know more about how to apply to become a physical therapist here in the US. And I am happy to answer these questions. However, number one, the different time zone, I cannot respond to you right away. Number two, I'm probably doing something, I'm working, and I won't be able to help you right away. Number three is there's a lot of factors that's going on in my life, and I guess it's also good to have a copy and a guiding videos that I don't have to repeat over and over again. So this video is for you and I hope you like it. But before we start with our question and answer portion, I want you to subscribe and click the like button for more videos that I'm going to upload. Hey everyone, yes, I am back, and now I am grateful for all of you guys who are here today to wait for the questions that I'm going to answer. And these are some of the comments that I really need to focus on, and I probably would like to get emphasis on. And this is from Brown Sugar Babe, and she was asking, thank you for this breakdown video. Quick question, is the jurisprudence exam open book? Thanks. Now, I would say it's not open book. And however, when you get to answer questions and you got it wrong, they will give you a second chance, and they will give you a reference article where you can find the answer to the questions that they've asked you. So it's a very good opportunity for you to just pass the exam no matter what, as long as you were able to read through the article that they provided you. And if you don't have, you remember, I made a video about how to apply to become a physical therapist in Texas. So those videos had given you an idea where to upload the PDF file that you need in order for you to take your jurisprudence exam and pass it. All right, next question. Hi, Miss Aviona, this is from M. Elsewhere. I was wondering if the books are included in the tuition fee. This is referred to the TDPT program that I made, and in case you haven't had encountered that just yet, my video is all about application and how to apply to become a transitional doctorate physical therapist. Now, it is not as much as you wanted it to be. It is not included. However, most of the lessons that they've had, you can learn it through the module that they provided you with. However, it's also good to be in depth with the subjects that you are currently taking. And the reason why is there's a lot of things that they wanted to talk to you about. However, due to congested time and congested days for you to read through this subjects, they just want it to be short and concise, and for you to just expound yourself in case you wanted to learn more. Now, next question, Hagar Mohammed. This is still the same video that I made, how to apply to become a transitional doctorate degree, a physical therapist. Is DPT a must to work in the US even if I pass the NPTE? Now, first of all, when you already have the NPTE, you you yourself is already a licensed physical therapist. You can practice anywhere in the state that you applied for. If it's type 1, more state that you can go through and be a physical therapist at. Now, TDPT, or doctorate degree of physical therapy, the good thing about it is it expounds you to be better in your field as physical therapists. Now, this is the thing. When you buy certain amount of phone that are so expensive, you can afford to upgrade your phone, but you cannot afford to upgrade yourself. Right? So it's always good to always believe and upgrade to, such as like continuing education, to go on a specific specialty that you like. So somehow, in the long run, after your contract as a physical therapist in whichever company you were working at, you will be given an opportunity to just be an independent physical therapist and just do, maybe you're a vestibular physical therapist, maybe you wanted to be a pediatric physical therapist, and just focus on the area of expertise, and that's a good thing. Next, are you a Filipina by Paul Orzales? Yes, seriously, I'm a Filipina, and I am from the Philippines. I am an Indian graduate. Will I have to give exam? So probably the question was, will I have to take the exam? Unfortunately, yes. In order for you to be a physical therapist, they wanted to gauge how much you've learned to become a physical therapist here in the US, which is already equivalent to their education here. They wanted to know if you would be able to provide the physical therapy treatment that they need and that they wanted for you to practice here in the US. So that's what it is all about, to gauge you, or to measure you. Yeah, because everybody has different regulations when in different countries. So we just have to go through the process. Besides, we are the one who's coming over to practice here. And next, again from Hagar Mohammed, is NPTE available at countries in Africa? Should I go to the US to take the exam? Yes, it's not available in Africa, and most of the parametrics are within the US territories. Having said that, US territories are such as Saipan, Guam, there's a lot. Puerto Rico, I guess there's a lot of US territories that they do have parametrics. Parametrics is the establishment where they just they're just the one who will provide the exam. They were not the one who made the questions. They're just the one who are regulating, facilitating you, and taking your physical therapist examination or physical therapy examination. Other than that, in the parametric area, these are service centers that you can take your exam. So you're not parametric area. They're not only catering physical therapists; they are also catering different like engineers, accountants, and everything. So it's not specifically physical therapists there. When you take the exam, you should be quiet because you don't know if whatever they're taking. Yeah. So as I've had uploaded on my video, I uploaded how to apply for a visa and how to specifically get the visa to be here. And my advice to you is, when I took the physical therapy examination, I took it in Guam, and the reason being is just the same time zone for Philippines, and I don't really necessarily have to adjust on the specific weather that they've had, because they also have the same weather. And when I had my examination, I make sure that when the time that I'm going to take is the time that I'm practicing my answering questions. Like after I had questions that I've really answered on through the PET that they've had, I answered it through in the morning, because I'm taking the morning exam. If you are taking the afternoon exam, answer it in afternoon exam. The reason for me is that it's based on endurance. Taking exam is also based on endurance, and as I've said, if depends on how you would answer the question. So make sure that you will not only dwell on one question. So you can still go back to those questions if you know, like if you think that you really need to go back on those questions, just mark it and flag it. So then it would be easier for you to go back and review your answers. Okay, going back to another questions by Hagar Mohammed. How can I get an employee there? How can I work there after passing the NPTE? So this is a very, very good questions. I think there's a lot of company, and I probably obliged to set up a video for all of you guys who wanted to apply to different employer, and I'm not affiliated to any of these employers. I wouldn't even get a commission from them, but I would probably make a video just for you to apply. In case you're already a physical therapist passer, you can still continue your dream to become a foreign physical therapist. Hi there, which state not need TOEFL examination? Can you list out a few states, please? It's funny how you've asked this, because when you are taking your credentialing to become a physical therapist, they really need your TOEFL score. So even if you don't want or don't plan to take your TOEFL, there's a bigger chance that you still need to take your TOEFL, especially if you are a foreign trained and you are credentialing your studies from the US. They wanted to compare and they wanted to measure how you can comprehend English very well. So that's the reason why you are still gonna take TOEFL no matter what. But I assure you, Delaware, they don't need TOEFL to become a licensed physical therapist and work there in the US. If I'm not mistaken, it's Pennsylvania. Yeah, but don't quote me on that. As I've said on my disclaimer on the video that I've made, I always say that these institutions are upgrading and they're trying to develop and, you know, like make sure that whatever they made for the future physical therapists, they made it for a reason, and they wanted to get the best physical therapists working here in the US. So that's why. And next question we have from Charlotte Kiambao. Hi, Miss Aviona. So when looking for physical therapy program in the Philippines, would you just have to know whether or not a university is FSBPT accredited? So FSBPT is a Federation for State Board of Physical Therapists. Now, they are the one who formulate questions, and they're the one who measure and gauge you how you are as a physical therapist in your country and how you would be able to answer them based upon their practice here as a physical therapist. Now, FSBPT, they don't accredit. Only FCCPT, the foreign credentialing, because they are the one who credentials your credential from the country where you at. FSBPT is only the one who provide you with exam questions, guide, what to study, how to study, questions that you're gonna expect, and how the questions are formulated. That's how the FSBPT is, and they're just from what this is the big scenario of what FSBPT institution really is, and there's like a lot more than that. And the next, I have difficulties finding information from the Philippine university. So far, I gathered that USD, UP are ones that offer a master's in PT, which I know is required in the US. But do you know if these universities are accredited? Interestingly, all of these big universities are accredited, and in case that you are in case you are wanting to know more about it, you can visit the FSBPT website, or you can Google school code. Now, this school code represents your university that you're enrolled at, and when you use your school code, The school code is the one that they need for FCCPT to know if they are accredited or credentialed to different institutions. Because these school codes are not only recognized in the US, but it's also recognized in Europe, in Australia and Canada. If you plan to go to Canada, if you plan to go to Australia to apply and to become a physical therapist, school code is necessary. Now, on the flip side, I have a source telling me that all they had to do was obtain a bachelor's degree in PT in order to test for the NPTE and work in the state. Is that true? Yes. Masters is not, masters are based on the units that you're taking. And as far as I can remember, Bachelors of Science of Physical Therapy in the Philippines, they have more units. So they're equivalent to masters. So you don't have to worry if you are taking Bachelors of Physical Therapy. The only thing that you're worried is that when you are already a bachelor's license in your country, you would have to pass it to the FCCPT and get a credential. When you are done with your credential, that's when they would know that how would this compare to the units here in the US, and they would just let you know that these are the subjects that you're lacking at, and this is not as equivalent to our US university. So these are the subjects that you're going to take. So it's also always good to have those subjects taken in order for you to qualify to take your NPTE examination. Now next, we have from Ashan Yarkhan. In my country, there is no PT regulating body like APTA in America, but they do provide degree in this field. My question is there any problem if I don't have a license in my country, but I do hold a degree of DPT, and also if I clear the NPTE in future, can I be eligible to apply for licensure? Okay. Now, interestingly, APTA is an organization for American Physical Therapists Association. Now, we don't, these are regulating bodies that you are licensed. Once you are licensed, and these are organizations that you can learn about advanced physical therapy, the research, like what is effective, evidence-based treatment, and all this such and such. So those are APTA. Now the board of taking the examination is the FSBPT. So I'm guessing what you're trying to say is you don't have FSBPT to measure if you as a physical therapist in your country is, you know, like qualified to practice as a physical therapist, and then you get a license. This is a tricky part because I am not sure about this. What you can do is ask your university to send it to FCCPT and get it credentialed. I know there might be states that don't need license to, you know, to work here in the US. And part of which in the year 2010, it was New York who doesn't need license for your countries to become a physical therapist in New York. So yeah. If you already practice as an NPT passer, you are already a license to whichever state you applied for. So yeah. So NPTE is the optimal last thing that you're going to do. Once you have that license ready and you're good to go, apply and be ready as a foreign trained physical therapist. So that's your final stage. So I guess those are all the questions I've got here, and thank you so much for all this opportunity, for letting me answer your questions, and I am grateful for all of you guys. So please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. And